unless you want to do it here.
I gotta go.
That's cool. I'll just move my stuff over.
All right, here's Brian.
Hello. Okay, so first off, when we come to the fireplace, in order to use this guy, we have our shut-off valve on the floor. This is counterclockwise is fully open and clockwise is fully closed. You do not want it partway in the middle. You want it either fully open or fully closed, quite tight. And then the key should be stored on the mantle or someplace else secure, but not left in the valve so it doesn't get kicked. It's the equivalent of hitting the stem on the water spigot.
Good advice.
The glass doors can remain in the closed position when the system is off and idling along, but when the unit is on and running, the doors must be in their fully open position like this. This will allow maximum airflow across the unit and keeping our valve cool. Our main gas control valve has a grease inside, and the grease, if the doors are closed, will get too hot and liquefy and run to the bottom, and we will melt and ruin the valve. So the doors must be open while the unit's on. Now, if you look up in this area, you can see the pilot light burning down in there. That is our main safety device. If that pilot light gets blown out within approximately 1 minute, the system will deactivate and shut off all of the gas flow to the fireplace. So that is our main safety. And currently the knob is in the 3 o'clock position, which is, you can see with the little detent on the end where my finger's pointing. That guy is the standby and also pilot lighting position. So if we were to turn the unit fully off for, say, the summertime, or if we were doing some sort of service, if you press in just slightly and then you can rotate down to the 6 o'clock position, which turns everything off. This shuts down all of the gas, just like turning off the sink at the faucet, okay? Now, in order to get this guy to relight the pilot, what we're going to need is a long lighter like this guy. And then we will want to put the knob into the 6 o'clock, or excuse me, the 3 o'clock position from the 6 o'clock. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this knob and we're going to rotate towards on. We're going to overachieve and then come back towards off. The knob will actually stop where we can depress it. The knob here depresses in. If you are not in the correct position, it doesn't push in very far. So what we're going to do is turn towards off until it stops. That gives us our indicated position. When we press in on this knob, that is the equivalent of squeezing the trigger on our lighter, and that allows gas to flow. So what I'm going to do is press this in, and I'm going to use my long lighter. I'm going to come back through here and light the pilot light, like so. Once the pilot's lit, I am going to continue holding this knob in for approximately 30 seconds. What we are doing is we're allowing the thermal generator to heat up and to allow the safety to activate inside the valve. And this is what the system is using to maintain that the fire is lit and it's safe to let gas flow. So then what I'm going to do is just continue talking as I hold this in. And so once we've reached approximately 30 seconds, we can release the knob. If you let go of the knob and the flame goes out, it's no big deal. Just depress it again, light it, and hold it a little bit longer. And now I should be able to let go, and the pilot light should stay lit at this point. So you'll be able to see that guy burning back there on its own. So now we're in the standby mode. So in order to operate the unit, we're going to take this knob and we're going to turn it fully to the 12 o'clock position to allow the fireplace to light. So I'm going to take it and quickly turn it straight up. You can see now that the fireplace has lit. And then once the fireplace is fully lit as so, we can then slowly regulate the valve back down to regulate the flame height anywhere in between you desire. And then when you're done using it, just turn it to clockwise to the 3 o'clock position, and then that is back in the standby mode. And so that is how we operate the fireplace. The damper has a safety clamp on it that won't allow it to seal 100%. This is by code and needs to be there. Otherwise, the damper is a screw type, and on this one, as you rotate it counterclockwise, that fully opens it, and clockwise closes it. When the fireplace is on and running, you will want to have the damper fully turned counterclockwise.
Fully counterclockwise.
Yeah, which is all the way open.
Brian, the inspector had noticed some cracking in the bricks And then could you talk a little bit about the white?
Yeah, so
substance?
it looks like somebody put a mortar sealant on some of the cracks in the bricks where the mortar had started to fail. This was originally a wood-burning fireplace that has been converted to gas. My best guess is that they damaged the fireplace with the wood, and that's where these cracks came from, by running the fireplace too hot and too intensely. And so now that it has been converted to gas, the cracks are of no consequence because gas burns at a significantly lower temperature than wood. If you were to go back to wood, we would need to make sure that all of the cracks are sealed with fire mortar, and then this would be an ongoing maintenance issue to maintain the integrity of the firebox.
Or they could scoop out that white stuff or paint over it, right? Just to cosmetically make it look more appealing.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Anything else we're missing?
I don't believe so.
Great.
It'll all be, the rest will be in the invoice. Oh, there is one thing as far as draft checking. When you first turn on the fireplace like so, we're going to light it by turning it fully counterclockwise to the 12 o'clock position. When the fireplace is on and running and the exterior temperature is in the teens and below, we want to verify that we have a correct draft, because this was a wood-burning fireplace, and so these are the steps you would do with one of those as well. We're going to take our hand, now that it's on, and run it along here. What I am feeling for is a very intense heat, just like you open the oven after baking cookies. Right now it's just mildly warm, and that means it's drafting properly. If we are not drafting properly and we have cold air coming down the chimney into the room, the two would bang together and spill in, and you would feel a crazy hot, humid, again, just like you open the oven after baking cookies. Okay. It's very easy to deal with once you identify that that's the issue, and what you're going to do is pop open a door or a window, and that will change the pressure in the house, allowing the heat to rise up and go up the flue as intended. It takes about 3 to 5 minutes of running the fireplace to heat the flue sufficiently, and then you should be able to close the door or window. The colder it becomes outside, the more prone to this scenario it is. So when we get those 2 weeks a year of freezing cold weather, this is really critical for watching this. Other than that, you shouldn't have any problems as long as you do the little hand trick while you start the fireplace. Once it's drafting properly, it will not reverse.
There are 3 little chimney things on the roof. There's a chimney and then 3 little circles. What are those called?
The flues.
Flues. None of them have any screens on the top or caps. Is that necessary?
They are not necessary, but they're recommended to keep leaves, debris, and wildlife out of your home.
Okay, and can you buy those on Amazon and stick them on yourself?
You can get them on Amazon, Home Depot, or we can provide them if you don't want to take care of that.
All right, great. Thank you.
You bet.